Yo, 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 yo. Those are my yo-yos instead of the ho-ho-hos, which you're probably used to hearing this time of year. Oh, holiday music is in abundance. What's up, everybody? It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast. LOL if you like acronyms, as I do. I really love acronyms. I do. It's Giving Tuesday, right? That just passed. A lot of acronymed organizations reached out. I donated to a few. I hope you did too. It could also be Giving Tuesday, any Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Giving is great. It's so much better than receiving. You know what I mean. Organizations. So here at LOL, I love talking about gifting, but I also love receiving them. And I received one in the mail, people. I received one in the mail. I should say two. I received two gifts in the mail, and I wanted to do the unboxing here on the show, on Latinos Out Loud. I may get loud, okay? I mean, as if I'm not already. I sometimes have to check where my decibel level is, and I'm pretty loud right now. But it may get louder. So maybe just keep your volume buttons close. Maybe that little toggle on YouTube that you can shift from side to side. The volume, you may want to hover over it just in case it gets too loud. But I am really excited, so I can't contain it. I'm so excited. And I will not hide it. I will not hide it. Okay, let's get to it. So I brought this big black box with me. Oh, it's heavy. It's not a one-hand lift. No, it's like a two. Okay, I'm struggling. I got it. Okay, I wouldn't want to drop it. This is the black box. It's not a black box from a plane. No, there's no recording of some crazy incident inside of here. But there was a really special occasion that I went to recently, as y'all know, the Signal Awards. And in this box lies my bronze trophy. Wow, with care instructions at the top of it. So it's like a big piece of metal. And here we are. Dun, 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 dun. Can I get some music or something? I mean, I don't know, trombone, a harp. I don't know, some kind of banjo accompaniment. Nothing? Okay, nothing. That's fine. I don't need it. I could do it myself. This is the Bronze Signal Award for Best Comedy for the Latinos Out Loud podcast, and I will read the inscription, as I've read a few times in the mirror already and in the shower. Okay, so this says, and this thing is quite waterproof, by the way. Okay, it says, Signal Awards 2023 bronze winner, Rachel La Loca, Latinos Out Loud podcast, best comedy. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has made this possible. Thank you to the LOLeros. Thank you, this network, everyone here, Mike, Don, Rick, Kaba, everyone, John. I'd like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank Alan and Thelma Strauss. I'd like to thank all of Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, that made me who I am today. I'd like to thank the cheerleading squad at Midwood High School. That also made me who I am today. Thank you for allowing my joints to spread so far and for me to still do cartwheels and splits. And also the LOLeros. I mean, the LOLeros are such a key part of this. The LOLeros, you give this the weight that it has on me right now. And this thing is heavy, pesa mucho. Okay, mira, LOLeros, thank you so much for sticking with us through the years, 7 of them to be exact, for listening, for giving us your feedback, for just being there no matter what. We've gone through so many hurdles with this show. This show is not the easiest thing to do and have been doing for 370-something episodes. But the passion is so strong. It's so deep. It runs through my veins, my arteries, my sinuses. It runs through every crevice, orifice, everything. And I'm just so happy to hold this. I also want to thank everybody who's contributed to Latinos Out Loud. There's been so many contributors through the years. I don't do this by myself. What do you think, I do this by myself? I don't do this by myself. It's not a solo act. It's not Rachel La Sola, okay? It's really a team, a village, people who have come in and out, who've all contributed in some way, shape, or form, and who've left lasting impressions. And thank you so much, everybody. Not too long-winded. I don't hear the music playing yet, so they're not kicking me off the stage. But thank you so much, Signal Awards. This is so DOPE, 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 dope. And we're going to put it here on set. Even the box is dope. I am going to be using this for a gift this Christmas. I mean, why not? You know what I mean? There's no branding on it. It's a nice box. It has satin on the inside. When was the last time you got a box with anything satin in it? Seriously. So this is going to go here on set with us. I'm going to name it, too. What should I name you? Bronzy. Me and Bronzy are going to be on set here every week, okay? Nobody touch it, okay, when I'm not here. Everybody at the This Network, you could check your makeup in it, but please, don't leave fingerprints. It's very shiny. Okay, what else is shiny? My guest today. She sure is. She's brilliant. She's shiny. She lights up Spanish Harlem, okay? I know that's not the first time you've heard anybody say that, but it just feels so right to say. She is a comedian. She's a TV personality, and she's a producer. She's so many more things, which we're going to talk about on this episode of LOL. But please give a standing O to Rhina Valentin, my friend.
Oh, yay.
Clap! Everybody should be clapping. Everybody. We'll wait.
Well, we're really clapping for you and this magnificent award. Congratulations.
Thank you. Her name is Bronzy.
Bronzy. We must address her by name.
You okay, Bronzy? Okay, just checking. Thank you so much.
She looks fly. She
She look good.
And she matching you, too.
Well, did I plan this bronze outfit on purpose today? One will never know, will one?
You only took a shower with her. I'm just saying.
Okay, so, I mean, truth be told, there are two Bronzys, okay? Bronzy 1 is home with me and my home studio, and Bronzy 2 is here at this space in Astoria. Speaking of Astoria, you have a lot of stories, and we are going to get to them. I'm so happy you're here.
Me too.
I've been on your show. Here's, I like to spill facts, the beans on the facts. Here's some gandules with facts wrapped all around them. This woman has been doing her show on TV for 17 years.
Yeah, 17 years, but I live in denial.
Well, Rhina, denial's not just the longest river in Africa.
No, it's my way of living. And
I am often in denial as well, I have to say.
Well,
I
I'm
exercise
saying denial both in river and in way of being, right? Because the river flows.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you referenced the river. That's the only reason I'm.
This is what I love about being on set with another comedian, is that get ready for a joyride. You know that song Roxette? Come on, join the joyride. This is going to be such a joyride, a ride of joy. I love hanging out with you. We recently hung out, before we get into like the nuts and berries, we recently hung out, right? A few times, but like one of the times that I saw her at this Upper East Side establishment, we saw some racism play out. Right?
And little did they know.
Curly-haired Rhina and Loca are on the scene. And we addressed it, and we're vocal about it. And you know how Latinas do, right? Like, even when the situation is over, even when people leave, it's like, I told him he should have said something. I'm saying, though, like, let me repeat the story over again. I told him that he should not have said what. Why do we do that? Emphasis, I guess. We're so emphatic.
We had a whole conference over it afterwards, right?
We live streamed it.
We
It
had
was
to
crazy.
process. We were processing.
That's how we live streamed it. We went on IG Live. We got a deal with YouTube out of it. It was crazy. All because of what we witnessed. So we went back to the same establishment, and then what happened?
And then we had brunch.
And he was there again.
Yes,
on the way out.
Yeah, but we recognized him on the way out. Thank God. Not only because here's the thing. The thing about it is that aside from the racism, there was this exercise of entitlement, and I think that's where we draw the line, because it's a public establishment. You know, it's not like he was the owner.
It's an eatery, guy. Like, we're all there causing no harm. It's such a but these senior citizens. Look, I have two that I'm like very close to, my parents, and they just say whatever they want. Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, the whole point was that we were loud.
Were
Duh.
we? Yeah, right? I'm like, I thought that was an acceptable decibel level, if you ask me. I thought I was a little, like I can only hear myself from like 10 tables down. And to me, that's acceptable.
I mean, nobody told him to sit in the table next to us.
Speaking of the table, you have a seat at this table. You know what I'm saying? This entertainment table.
Aw,
Yeah, 17 years. We should be celebrating not a sweet 16, a sweet 17.
a sweet 17. I
Which
like that.
you have a party coming up. I'm excited about your birthday.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that age factor. We're gonna, but it
I
happens
didn't
to
say
be,
no number.
But it happens to be on the 17th day of December.
Ooh.
Look at that. So 17 is a number I think we should play.
We got to play los números, everybody. 17, 17.
12, 17.
12, 17, 12, 17, 74, 74, la base, 17. Okay,
Yeah.
the Dominican car service reference. I mean,
all know.
everybody's Ubering now, so nobody really, these poor Dominican car services. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel so bad. They must be like, "Y la gente? ¿Dónde está la gente? Hay que manejar por Uber, entonces."
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get into too many tangents.
I know. Y yo me voy contigo. So
I know,
like, because right away I'm thinking, well, they can modernize. They can do the Spanish flavored version,
Sí, el Uber.
El Uber. No, llámalo
Uber.
algo diferente.
Algo diferente. See, what would you call it if you had like the 2023 Dominican style transportation app?
Bueno, that's going to take some time to process.
We'll get
because
back to
I was going with Lyft and Uber, trying to combine the two, give it a nice Spanish name.
Can we call it something like Te Llevo Loco?
Te llevo loco.
Yeah, Te Llevo Loco. Loco, yo te llevo.
Yeah.
Te llevo loco.
Esta está buscando sponsors, de lo que pasa.
It also will teach people about the double L, which I love about our language. The double L, yeah, ella, is just so sexy. Speaking of sexy letters, OPEN on BronxNet, 17 years. Talk about your show. Give the LOLeros a taste of what you serve on your show.
Well, I want to say thank you, Rachel, because it's so refreshing to be on the other side.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yes,
I
and
love
you
that.
do such a great job.
Enjoy this seat,
I
mama.
am so loving it right now.
Nestle in it.
I know. I'm
Enjoy
like,
it.
oh my
Take your
gosh.
time. We're in no rush, right? LOLeros, we're in no rush.
But the interesting thing is I'm realizing that I'm most comfortable always engaging in other people's stories. And so you keep flipping it back to me and I keep flipping it back to you.
It's
Because,
ping pong up
yeah,
in here.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we'll see how it ends up. And so I'm going to try and divulge as much information as possible.
Oh, I'm going to get it out of you.
All right, you're going to get out of
If I have to perform surgery, mouth to mouth, neck to neck, whatever I got to do.
Bueno, that sounds like a rating show.
Clickbait. Anybody? Clickbait? Bait for a click? Okay.
So,
well,
all right. So
tell us about Open.
Open, we advocate arts. What was that?
I don't know. There's a ghost in here. Maybe one of your
else is
former
with us
guests.
too? Ay, ay, ay. All
It's a
right.
good ghost, though.
It's
fine.
it's all good. you
Como
know.
cape.
The ancestors are welcome to be here with us.
Yes, always.
Okay, so back to Open. We advocate arts, culture, women empowerment, youth development, mental health awareness, domestic violence awareness. I've been fortunate enough to have this show kind of evolve around my personality, and these are all topics and causes that really are near and dear to my heart. Right? I am an arts advocate, being an artist myself, but I want to say I'm most fulfilled when I discover people. I love that aspect of what I do. Like I've had people, once again, I've been doing this 17 years, even though I live in denial, because I'll be hanging with the teeny boppers, like I'm down with them. And just saying, I'll be
So you
madrina.
say the cool stuff?
I be madrina
That's
when it's
good.
needed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the madrina hat on. But in the meantime, we're rolling on the same wavelength, right?
Yes.
It's how you stay young. You
Yes.
know? It's how I stay young anyway. And so I've had individuals who have come and have presented on my show for the first time, and then they get discovered by other networks, and then they go off and they'll win an Emmy or a Grammy, and then they come back and they get to share those stories with me. And it really is, it's almost as if though it happened to me. It's fulfilling to me to know that I'm a stepping stone, or the platform, that is, not me, but the space I hold. and I present is a stepping stone for individuals to be discovered for bigger and better things.
You rep so hard for Uptown.
Yeah.
You know, Spanish Harlem, the Bronx.
Yeah.
I mean, BronxNet is deep Uptown.
Yeah.
Yo, so like, I love what you've done with your show because, yes, you've been doing the show for a long time, but now the show has arms and legs.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's a grown adult now.
An arm and a leg that I want to talk about is Lincoln Center. So, like, event production is now under La Reina del Barrio, Rhina Valentin. And it's almost like a taste. It's a page of the book of your show in event iteration or format.
Yeah, one of the things I want to say that I really enjoyed in my service is having the ability to create. In spite of the fact that we're working in the platform of media, in the genre of media, I was discovered. Let me just share a little background. I was
Story
actually-
time. I love it. I love it. Let me get comfortable. Tell us more. Someone pass me a flashlight. I love stories. I do. Sharing and listening.
And I'm so excited to be sharing this story in 2023, at the end of 2023, because we just celebrated the closure for its renovation. And, this year has been the 50th anniversary of the New Rican Poets Cafe. And, my sorority sister, La Bruja, Caridad de la Luz, serves as its executive director. I was there for the last day. which was
Omega Phi Beta.
Omega Phi Beta.
Wow,
Yes.
shout out to all the betas out there. I have so many dear friends that are betas. It all makes sense. Go ahead, please. I just got to shout you out because I went to many beta parties in college and they were lit. Okay, with all your strolling and your sunflowers and attracting all the good-looking men's. Okay,
All right, so just because you're going in like that, we're just going to do a soleil.
yay! Shout out your sorority. That's right. All right.
So all my Omega Phi Beta sis.
And we have some listeners that are betas. Shout out to Desiree. Desiree always hits me up. She listens to the podcast. Bruja's been on the show countless times. Shout out to my homegirl Priscilla. Shout out to Gina. The betas are deep in my family, in my network.
Oh, that's awesome. All
Anyway,
right.
I didn't mean to interject.
No, it's fine. We're gonna dance in, dance out. I like a little shift in the beat, in the rhythm, in the flow.
Go back to Lincoln Center because we're on a good train.
Oh, that's where we were. No,
we were on your
actually,
event production train.
I know. We're gonna do sidebars, and you got to bring me back because
I'm down for a drink at the sidebar. I'll do 2 shots of
Ay,
stories.
Dios mío, okay, you're talking to an artist. And so, as artists, we tend to go off into the ether and then realize that we went too far and then we got to.
So hard to get back.
Yeah. So, but we were actually talking about the New Rican Poets Cafe because I
50
wanted to
years.
share that it's 50th anniversary. It's, it's being closed down for renovation.
For years.
Yeah, for 3 years, but they've got a nice hefty budget
I'm
to
going to miss that
renovate.
place. I don't think I've not performed there for 3 years, that lapse of time. From time to time, I go there and I'm welcome there. It's a place that we're welcome as artists in New York City. It's our Apollo for
Yes,
Latinos.
It is. It's definitely an institution that has developed a lot of careers, myself included.
Yeah.
And so I had a residency there, and I had a show called Las Reinas Barriolesque. And I was the host of it, and I did like some crazy stuff. It was more like avant-garde, but I had an amazing lineup of it was a variety show. I had comedians, rappers, I had belly dancers. I even had sword swallowers. I mean,
Ooh, nice.
Where do you find sword swallowers in New York?
Well,
found them, right?
wait, we're talking about swords. Okay. My bad.
Te fuiste. Te
It's
pasaste,
Latinos
te
Out
pasaste.
Loud. Come on, live a little. Live a little on the dark side,
Ay,
people.
ay, ay.
Relax.
Ay, ay, ay. So, having done this residency for a year over there, I want to say maybe that was back in 2006.
Wow, we going back, way back into time.
And then the executive director of BronxNet Television was capturing it along with the late, great Ibrahim Gonzalez, who is no longer with us, so we're going to send him light. And I was discovered to be part of this pilot episode of the show that they were launching called Open.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought, really, this is going to be interesting because I wasn't doing like journalism, broadcast style hosting. I was doing avant-garde. I mean, I was playing, I was playing characters like I'm laughing myself because I was a character that was a humanoid selling real estate in Mars, and and then on another one I was a roller skating queen, and I was like the thread between each act, and I had my own storyline going on. It was really out there.
Anything on roller skates is sexy.
Oh, thank you, honey. And
Anything.
Her name was Rhina, but
Rollerina. I love her. Bring her back, please.
they're all on the shelves.
Oh my God.
They're all on the shelves, including the humanoid that was selling real estate in Mars.
Sexy. And so you got discovered. You started hosting this show. What did you think it was going to be? Like a few years, or like maybe? What did you think?
Well, I was offered the position to co-host an award show alongside Dr. Bob Lee from WBLS. Now, I was like a little chiquitín thing, right? Dr. Bob Lee was like, a legend. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so exciting. I was going to share the stage with the legendary Bob Lee from WBLS.
New York radio station for those of you outside of New York.
Oh, right.
You know?
Yes, I forget that this is global, right? So after I hosted this award ceremony with Bob Lee, that was my first time hosting a gala like that alongside whom, he's a celebrity. I mean, he's somebody I grew up listening to. So I was like really flattered, and I felt like I had arrived, right? To be seen in that light.
Here I am, Rhina Valentin, ready to be seen. Okay, I just wanted to bring everybody there. I was there. You brought me there. So I just wanted to make it audible present.
No, I appreciate that. No, but it just says something, right? Because in addition to being provided with that first opportunity to host something alongside someone who has been established for so many years, it was a big deal. It was a big deal for me. And on top of that, I was also granted the opportunity to take my storytelling style and convert it into a media short film, right? Because that was actually the introduction to our appearance on stage. So they gave me this opportunity to produce a short film and star in it as a means of serving as our introduction, meaning myself and Bob Lee's. But it was my storytelling style. And so I want to say I caught the bug from there because it was really magical, which is what I like. I like magic realism.
Yeah, I want to hear about La Reina del Barrio, because I feel like this evolution, this story that we're on, I love all the pit stops, by the way.
Thank you.
When did you stumble upon the pit stop of formulating this into a business and becoming La Reina del Barrio?
So, thank you for saying that, because La Reina del Barrio is an actual incorporation. Incorporated.
It's an incorporated, people. INC.
and some people think that it's just a name that I dubbed myself, but when in fact it's the name of my company.
It's a business.
Yeah, the business.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Yeah, ya tú sabes.
Quote a lot of lyrics here, hip hop, Jay-Z, all of it. Okay.
And so, and by the way, the name came from the fact that people would have a hard time remembering my name. For whatever reason, people would struggle with retaining the name Rhina. And so as a point of reference,
Rhina.
I would offer them Rhina como reina.
Reina.
Because people, for whatever reason, remember Reina because it's queen. And
La Reina del Barrio also works. Wow. Okay, I love this.
it's also an oxymoron if you think about it.
I love oxymorons. I don't love morons, but I love oxymorons.
Think about it, right? I mean, La Reina del Barrio translated to English could be queen of the community, or it could be queen of the ghetto.
Oh, yes. Okay, because we could keep it classy, but we could also go back to being ashy real quick, okay?
Well, I like keeping it real. You say I rep uptown. I do that for a reason because, my upbringing is urban. I'm from the streets. I'm from the streets of El Barrio.
No, I understand. I'm from Brooklyn, and to this day, even in my 40s, I still have to have a box cutter, a blade in my mouth. So it's like right under, but it's like under my gum.
Damn, Rachel, you crafty like that?
I can show you guys, but it's just not that type of show.
Right.
Latinos Out Loud is not. But yeah, I mean, we're trained
Yeah.
as youth
Uh-huh.
to carry blades,
It's in our
razor
mouth.
blades.
Uh-huh.
You know, the blade from the box cutter.
Yeah, I mean, we can get nasty and talk about the Vaseline and the garlic in the nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself with a razor blade in my mouth, which is probably why I couldn't even get it out. I'm like, yeah, I carry a box cutter under my tongue. I'm so not even, but like I could if I wanted to.
but in all honesty, nowadays it's probably a good skill set to have.
Yeah, I've opted for brass knuckles these days. I don't know if that's still a thing. I may be dating myself. A lot of people out there with tasers and mace and all the like 2023 stuff. I carry brass knuckles.
Do you?
Brass monkey, that funky monkey. We all about the brass here at Latinos Out Loud.
Oh my gosh, we brought it back. What a nice
The bronze and the brass.
All right, Bronzy, and your plug.
Bronzy, how are you? Okay, just checking. Just checking. She's fine.
We're gonna eventually get back to the story of La Reina del Barrio and
Back
its
to La
evolution.
Reina del Barrio. Wow, that was a long pit stop. But
I know,
sometimes
it's
you gotta go.
Es que, ya yo sabía.
We're back on the highway.
All
Here
right.
we go.
Well, we make some stops, we grab a few things here and there, and we come back. All right. So in coming back, right, with La Reina del Barrio, it started out as La Reina and as a company before I even incorporated, and I went from being La Reina to La Reina del Barrio LLC to then La Reina del Barrio Inc. And I had been like doing business with all kinds of individuals like FBI, the DEA's
FBI.
office. Yeah, they would always hire us for Hispanic Heritage Month. You already know our token month. And so,
Hey, I'm not mad at getting them
Hey,
FBI checks.
I hear that.
Okay.
And so
Federal Bureau of Income. Let's go.
Vamos. Anyway, that's how I really started saying to myself, well, I'm going to have to legitimize this because I was being hired by the FBI in the DEA's office. And it was always the same thing every year during Hispanic Heritage Month. And then I started formulating relationships with like the New York City hospital. I'm trying to remember the exact
the health
names.
and hospitals?
The health and hospitals.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't that at the time. It was called something else. But it's okay. I'm dating myself again. And so in doing that, I started also realizing that even at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, what I learned to do at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, aside from having a place to perform and a place to have my friends perform, but I was also managing the way the production was mounted. I was also in charge of the flyers. Back then we didn't have Adobe. We didn't have all
Canva.
of that. Well, we didn't have all
The kids
of
are using
that.
Canva.
Yeah, I
Mama
know.
started using Canva. I'm with it.
Okay.
I'm learning.
No, we had to get creative and do copies of this and copies of this text, to.
Of course.
Yeah.
And at the office job where you had access to a copy machine, you might run a few copies off. You know what I mean? Just a few when everybody leaves. Don't tell nobody.
Exactly. And then we also had to manage the funds because there was a split at the door and the New Eurekans kept a portion of it. They kept the bulk of it, as a matter of fact. But that was the arrangement. So in essence, it was like they taught me how to produce.
Yes.
They taught me how to produce. And so I've taken that formula and I've just basically cut and paste and have converted it into anything else I've put my hands on. And so a lot of the projects that I do, which a lot of people are unaware of, I'm in the back managing the whole thing. Even though I have producers and I have writers and I have videographers, but I'm the one pretty much that manages everybody who manages me.
Yeah. You run in the orchestra here, you know what I mean? You're like programming the different sections.
A bit of a maestro.
Brass.
Yes.
Percussion.
Yes.
Woodwinds, stop sleeping. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and with that also comes a mentorship, because I mentor a lot of people, a lot, like organically.
What is a mentorship with Rhina Valentin, La Reina del Barrio? What does that look like?
Off the bat, the first thing that comes to mind is I'm a tough lover. I offer tough love.
Tough cookie.
And for as far as I'm concerned, if I'm not saying anything, then that means it doesn't matter. Right? So when a person comes to me, and I want to say they aren't necessarily assigned to me. I got blank for a minute. Okay, so I want to say I mentor people according to whoever presents themselves to me, right? I don't necessarily go around saying, "Oh, I'm offering mentorship" or anything like that. But I have a lot of people that have come through my arms, and I want to say that I've cared for them in a way that has moved them to the next level. Right, and the next level of whatever that is, or whatever that may mean for them. Not all of them are in the industry. Some may think they want to be in the industry, and I offer them internships, and I offer them training, or I send them to trainings. I connect them to individuals because I'm also a very well connected individual, right? I
And
have
you're a dot connector.
yeah, I
I
am. I'm
see
a
you.
bridge
Dot,
builder.
dot, connect,
Yeah,
connect. Here we go. Boop, boop.
yeah,
How may I direct your call?
yeah,
Please hold. How may I direct your call?
yeah. Well, not that far, but
You know, like the
I mean,
switchboard.
yeah, yeah. I am. I am. I'm a bridge builder. I'm a bridge builder.
Good.
I'm all about like, how do you win? How do I win? How do we all win together? Right. And so sometimes when people present themselves, they're not necessarily in the same game. I don't know if I wanted to use that word, but they're not necessarily in the same field. They're not, they may not even know what they want, right? But they're looking for some kind of guidance. And so I have had certain individuals who, I'll use one for example. She served as my assistant for very many years, and she learned the ins and outs of what it means to hustle inside of a business, right? And so she got pregnant, had a child. While she was with me, she was studying to become a masseuse. And, she was going through like those hours of training, and it took her forever. And she completed, she became certified. And then when she relocated, she lives closer to Pennsylvania now. And now she owns her own masseuse parlor.
Okay.
Okay? She's a business owner
You
now.
need to put me on because I need a deep tissue.
Yeah, well, she's all the way in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I need some deep tissues around here. The box of Kleenex has to be close.
Bueno, then we can make it a weekend trip.
That would
Because,
be nice.
you know about
Does she do the
Pennsylvania for-
shiatsu?
Yeah, she does it all. She's trained in all
The
of that.
hot stone?
All of it, all of it,
I
all
love
of
those
it,
hot
all of it.
stones.
Me too. That's my favorite, actually.
It's so nice.
Yeah, there was a time where I was doing massage parlor hopping, is what I call it. I call it massage parlor hopping.
You massage hoe.
Yeah, I'm a massage hoe. I'm a massage hoe in the sense. I don't care. I agree. I admit to it. I admit to it because I was like, I'm not going to be loyal to one person.
Wow, these hoes ain't loyal for real.
No,
Not even the
it's-
massage world.
Mira, didn't you just say, "Oh, I like the stone. I like the Swedish"? Well,
do.
I do too.
I'm a stoner.
Me too.
For sure.
Mira,
Hot
baka
stone.
tuya.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's the best, actually. It's the best.
best.
And so I know we went off again, but I was on this kick of self-care.
The
right?
girl from Pennsylvania that now owns the masseuse parlor, what it means to be a mentor, a mentee for Rhina Valentin.
Back.
And there's
I've been
no cue cards here either. Okay, that was pretty good. I
That
just
was
read the
great.
whole thing back.
No, that was great. That was great. You were listening. And so
I'm here. I'm present.
I know. I see.
And you're a present. You're a gift.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, I'm so glad that we get each other in that way because, like I said, I like dancing. I like dancing in everything. Everything, everywhere, with everyone, right? Well, no, not necessarily everyone.
You a dance hoe too?
But también,
Oh my God.
ay, Dios mío,
you just
pero
be
a mí
out
me-
there doing the lambada with everybody. It's the forbidden dance, Rhina.
They
Like,
have to earn it. They have to earn it, though. They have to earn it.
I love this so much. So, okay, I just want to talk about mentorship and leadership because, believe it or not, I think sometimes even the best mentors can also be mentees. And it's also nice to share what mentorship looks like. I mean, Latinos Out Loud has had interns come through here. I'm still in touch with all of them. And I like to say that we still have this mentor-mentee relationship. And it is so fulfilling. And it's not that time consuming. Like, of course, we're all busy. But like a text message, a phone call, a cafecito over Zoom, a meetup,
just a
come to my
check-in.
podcast, come sit. Which, by the way, Caba doesn't know this yet. We got a really great call from an LOLero who called in, and they want to come live to the studio, so I invited them. Anyway, they're going to be in town from Texas. So anyway, but that to me is also, she's a young college student. And she's like, I'm coming with my mom, and I just want to see the operations of the Latinos Out Loud podcast. I'm like, well, then you come hither. You come here right now. However you talk in Texas, Come on back now, you heard? Like, hook 'em, longhorns, whatever you guys say out there. I just think that mentorship, leadership, internship, all the ships, we got to keep the ships afloat. That's the future. The future are those ships. Those ships are going to sink if we don't help steer the bow and lower the anchor. I don't know how many more ship references I
No,
have.
no, you're doing great. You're doing great because at the end of the day, really, all it means is having some kind of relationship and where you're checking in. And I think we
Yes.
all need that, especially during this time of the year,
Yeah.
right? Because then what happens is that it becomes this organic accountability. And I think that's what mentorship is really about, right? Because even as the mentor, you learn. Right? Just because
Totally.
you're the mentor doesn't mean that you're the one teaching.
It's a
Because
self-reflection
it
moment.
absolutely. It
Totes.
absolutely is. And I tell all of my mentees, your success is my success because whatever it is that you become and whatever it is that you accomplish, I get to sit back and feel full knowing that I contributed to that.
Well, I love everything you stand for. I love that the community has also awarded you. You've been on these lists of influential women and just all these accolades, and you're still doing it. And a lot of it you're doing in silence because you're operating a business. So, what's some advice that you have for young Rhina? Little Rhina back then, working with WBLS. Give her some advice because she's listening, she's watching, she's right there. You see her? Hey, little Rhina, come hither. Come here. Sit down. Listen to this.
All right. Well, little Rena, it's okay to be different. That's the best advice I can offer anybody. It is absolutely okay to just be unique and trust that anything that you've gone through in life, right, be it good or indifferent or adverse, it serves a purpose, and that purpose is really only going to be determined on based on how you receive it, right? Because we're all going through all kinds of things, right?
All types
Even
of stuff.
collectively, we're going through a lot of like adversity, really. I mean, between COVID, between all these wars, between our air being polluted, I mean, it's just been like one thing after the other,
Yeah.
right? So, but we have a choice. We can choose to marinate in the disparities, or we can take that experience and look at it as a tool to transform, right? Because at the end of the day, as human beings, we're here to elevate each other, be it wherever it is you are, whatever part of the world you're living. Because I'm an energy worker, and so I wholeheartedly believe that if you operate with a certain intent, that is what you're going to receive,
Yeah.
right? So what you put out is what you get.
Totally. I love that. I mean, are there any things that we should know about the LOLeros, like where to follow you? And you have a great website. You have an awesome newsletter. Yo, people be like, trying to get in that newsletter like crack, okay? That newsletter crazy. And I love your little bee. It's like I see you in your newsletter.
Ay, qué linda. All this flattery, I don't even know what to do with it because
Accept
I know
it.
I'm trying to embrace it because, I just do it. I do what I feel that we need. And by the way, you bring me back to why I've been serving in this capacity all these years. I went to a conservatory. I graduated from William Esper. I am trained in Meisner technique. I did a 3 years master program.
Tell 'em.
I thought I was going to become a comedic actor on a sitcom. I thought that was going to be my path. And of course I was out there exploring, experimenting, and as I mentioned, discovered at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. And when I was offered this position to serve us, and when I say serve us, serve our BIPOC community, in a way to offer this safe space for us to be documented, for us to be recognized, for us to just go on record and be amplified, I said yes. And it is because of us, and it's because of all of you, some of you who may recognize me from my show, being here with Rachel. I mean, we've known each other for very many years. She knows I'm a comedian, and I mean, I'm still a comedian. It doesn't matter. Once a comedian, always a comedian. However, I have taken the route of making sure that I serve us in this place where I have a say over the way we're going to be seen. And that makes a difference, right? It makes a difference. And I know you know what I mean because you're operating somewhat independently as well. And it's a lot more work, but it is so fulfilling that I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And it's because of all of you that I continue to excel and move in this fashion of just feeling fulfilled, right? I think at the end of the day, when it comes to life and when it comes to goals and when it comes to just your everyday, I I think at the end of the day, what we all really want and to feel is happy, right? And sometimes we have to make sacrifices. But if you're operating from this place of integrity, feeling really good about what you're doing and how you're contributing, because that is first and foremost contributing because we're all here to serve each other. It's not me. Is how can I serve you so that we can elevate together?
And that is the mantra of Latinos Out Loud. It's to move Latinos forward while making them LOL. I mean, we're going to get there with some comedy, but we're all moving forward. You know, lift, 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 right, lift. Yeah, we need to all march in unison to this beat that you're talking about, this Latino beat, this beautiful cumbia, this amazing bachata, this marvelous merengue.
Yeah, con el clave.
Pam, 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 pam. Bang, 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 bang.
So you can follow me at Rhina Valentin. Follow me at Rhina Valentin on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn y YouTube. Y ahora, ¿cómo se llama? Threads.
Y TikTok. Y toda esa vaina. I love it. We don't need no music. Okay, we make the music. Okay, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming here, sitting in that seat, because this is a hot seat.
It is a hot seat. It's a
hot seat. Hot
que tú eres, tú está bien caliente,
Está bien
mira.
caliente, pero bien cozy. No bien cozy.
Yeah.
Estamos muy cozy aquí. The set, I mean, it's like a sala.
It's
you know?
beautiful.
Bronzy fits in perfect in the sala that is Latinos Out Loud. Thank you, LOLeros, for sitting in the sala with us and me again on this show. You know, you talked a lot about like the people that are listening and watching and the followers. And it is so important for me to feel that sense of connection. Fulfillment for me is connecting with community. Okay, that rhymed, bars. But connecting with community, connecting with family, anything that ends with a E or a Y is really fulfilling to me. And it makes me sleep well at night, and it makes me want to come here every week for now 7 years to continue to do what I do, similar to what Rhina does on BronxNet with Open for so many years. My hat goes off to you, Rhina. Shout out to everybody uptown who's been supporting this woman for all those years. And you can also catch her show on YouTube.
Yes.
Tell them about the tututube.
Which one? Because there's a whole bunch of them. So the you can just find me, Rhina Valentin, or you can go to BronxNet. Pero I'm telling you, googleame, right? That's the thing.
Googleala.
Like that, once you Google me, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. Pero la cosa es que now we're expanding with Lincoln Center, so hay otra cosa pasando.
I am so excited about what's to come with Lincoln Center. She's now producing events for Lincoln Center, which ties back to what I said before about your brand being the ability to have your brand sprinkled throughout different iterations in your career, different facets of what you do. I can't wait for the book. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? All right. LOLeros, thank you so much. You can follow us at We Are Latinos Out Loud. Check out our website, wearelatinosOutloud.com. Give us a call. No big whoop. People are calling, and I listen to the messages, and we're going to play them on air. I haven't told Kaba that yet either. But give us a call. 978-LATINOS is the number. 978-LATINOS. Nothing sexy or raunchy on the other side. No press 1 for Dominicans, or maybe. I don't know. Call and find out. And you can also follow me, moi, Mademoiselle Rachel. Je m'appelle Rachel. Parlez-vous français, oui or no? You can follow me at Rachel La Loca, Rachel La Loca, and give me a call. No big whoop. I'm not giving you my number. Just call me at 978-LATINOS. Thanks so much for tuning in, for listening, for downloading, for liking and subscribing, and doing everything else we got to do in this 2023 world that we're living in. Thanks so much. It's been another episode. And on that note, we out.
The Latinos Out Loud podcast. Latinos. Yeah,